Shalom Israel, Yahba Shem Shah Barakathum to the brothers, Yahweh Shemal Athun by Shem Shah to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Karan Yala, and this is the Wednesday night law class. Excuse me. This is the Wednesday night law class streaming on the Sacramento Israelites page. Tonight we're gonna be going over serving other gods. Matam Yad, Yahba Shem Shah Barakathah. The water, I appreciate you every time. Today we're gonna go into serving other gods. What does it mean to serve another God? You understand? Why is the Lord against the children of Israel to take on different religions, different religions, different beliefs? You understand? Other than what's prescribed to us in the Bible. You understand? What's the history behind us? Excuse me. Taking on other gods. You understand? How evil it is. What does it do for the children of Israel? You understand? And what does it do to the children of Israel when we, in fact, take on other gods? Where do we get these other gods from? So forth and so on. Get the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter. All right. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You understand? Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now, let's stop right there. The Lord is the reason why the children of Israel were saved from the captivity that happened with us in Egypt. You understand? If you don't know the history of Egypt, it's in the book of Exodus, the first chapter. You understand? As far as the beginning of the slavery that we served in Egypt. You understand? We were literally the same type of slave that you would think about here in the Americas. And we worked from sun up to sundown. You understand? Making another nation a great nation, and them prospering and profiting off of the backs of the children of Israel with no pay. You understand? With just feeding us with food, water, some clothes, and some shelter. You understand? While they had the biggest and greatest economy of that day and age. You understand? But the children of Israel, we lived in projects. You understand? We lived in poverty-stricken neighborhoods, just like we do here in America. You understand? We had to serve an enemy that was cruel to us. You understand? That didn't give a damn about the welfare and the health care of our nation. You understand? In turn, all they did was just made sure we had something to eat so we can keep going back to make them a rich empire. You understand? And that's what the Lord saved us from. You understand? The Lord saved us from the Egyptian brutality that went on in ancient Egypt with the children of Israel. You understand? The Lord saved us from being a nation that was beneath another nation and being their slaves. You understand? So this is the Lord having mercy on the children of Israel because of the covenant that he had with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand? And so in turn, damn right, Matam Yah, nothing new under the sun. And so in turn, you understand, the Lord wants us to give him his credit. The Lord wants us to show him his gratitude for the great acts that he did for the children of Israel in freeing us out of the hand of the Egyptians and getting us out of bondage and slavery. All right. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, or serve them, For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And now, the Lord doesn't want us to erect statues, understand, of idols. You understand, and basically give our love and reverence that to be our God, because the Most High, our power, is the one that actually has us in his good graces, so to speak. You understand? We owe everything to the Lord. So it's disrespectful to God for us to make a goddamn statue, anything in the heavens or anything on planet Earth, and bow down to it and worship it like it's actually our God, when our God is the Lord in the fourth dimension. You understand? We didn't get saved by no goddamn statue or by no rock. You understand? Or by no wooden cross. That's not what saved us. The Most High power that created the heavens and the earth. You understand? That's the one who saved us. Not a statue of Buddha. You understand? Or a cow god. And then furthermore, these Egyptians, this is what they did in their land. You understand? They came up with these idols, these statues. You understand? These figures that they created. You understand? With man's hand, and they bowed down and worshiped them like they were actually a real God. You understand? The Lord didn't want us to be like the rest of these nations, and this is what these nations did. You understand? All of the nations. All right. That's why the Lord said we are a holy and separate people unto Him, above all other nations. You understand? Because the way that we supposed to conduct ourselves with these law, statutes, and commandments, it makes us different than everybody else. You understand? But it says, I'm gonna read that again. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. You understand? You shouldn't uh you shouldn't serve any other God but the Lord, the living God. You understand? Now, there's many different gods that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans worship unbeknownst to themselves. You understand? Like smoking weed. If you smoke weed, you worship weed. You understand? Also, you worship in the Hindu goddess Shiva. You understand? This is where the dreadlocks come from, Rastafarianism, and all of that type of nonsense. That's worshiping a god that's no god at all. You understand? That's basically saying that the Most High, you understand, that created the heavens and the earth, doesn't exist. So I'm gonna go ahead and get high and smoke this weed, and I don't give a damn about keeping no law, statutes, and commandments, because I don't know that God. You understand? That's exactly what that is. Celebrating Christmas. You understand? That's worshiping an African. You understand? A man named Nimrod. You understand, that lied down and uh, that lied down with his own mother. You understand? That's exactly what's going on with Christmas, Halloween, the Day of the Dead. You understand? 4th of July. You understand? Not Salaki, not 4th of July, but Valentine's Day. You understand? Thanksgiving. Anything that you celebrate, you understand, or you reverence as a holiday, the origins most likely come from another nation, another ancient nation, and that was to a god that they served. You understand? Salakia. Deuteronomy 23 and 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. The Lord said all things that He has told to the children of Israel, be circumspect, meaning be very careful. You understand? Careful and diligent in how you perceive the things that the Lord told you to do, not to do. All right. And make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. You understand? When it says don't make no mention of the names of other gods, you understand? You don't bow down and worship these other gods. You understand? If somebody get at you like, uh, 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 who is the God that you serve? You understand? You shouldn't make no mention to these other gods. You should make no references to these other gods, because these other gods are not the gods that saved you out of poverty, that saved you out of being oppressed by another nation. You understand? That saved you from having your baby slaughtered in the middle of the goddamn streets, just how these Egyptians did. You understand? Just like the Greeks did. You understand? Because when you look to another god and reverence another God besides the only God that actually saved you out of your terrible conditions, out of your poverty, out of the crimes that's being committed against you, you blaspheme the name of God, and then on top of that, you disrespect the Lord and basically spit in his face by worshiping another God. You understand? So like, let me get Deuteronomy 5 and 6. That's all I get. Leviticus 18 and 21. Anything that you reference outside of the Lord, you understand? Whether it be you got a drug habit, whether it be a holiday, you understand? Whether it be something that comforts you in a time of trouble. Anything that you run to outside of the Lord is a God that you serve. You understand? The book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. You understand? That passing through the fire of Molech, letting your seed pass through the fire of Molech. Molech was, I believe, Ammonite god. You understand? And the Ammonites would be your so-called Japanese today. But what they had was it was a big statue, I believe, of an owl. It was some type of figure. I believe it was an owl. Though. What they would do to this statue is they would set the statue on fire and get it real hot to where if you touch it, it'll burn you. And these people, they used to bring their little children and sit it in the arms of the statue, and the statue would burn their child alive in hopes for a better life or better living conditions or a prosperous life. You understand? The Lord told us we're not supposed to do that. Number one, that's worshiping a false God that can do nothing for you. You understand? Number two, right? That is actually murdering your goddamn child when the scriptures say a child is a gift from the Lord. You understand? And on top of that, if you read in the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter, like I was just at, the Lord said, thou shalt not kill, which in Hebrew, that verse translates to no murder. You understand? But Salakia, I'm gonna read that again. Salakia. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. You understand? We not supposed to be sacrificing our children, you understand, to another God. And then on top of that, just think about a lot of these other guys from these heathen nations. You understand? A lot of these guys from these heathen nations, they actually have you do stuff to destroy yourself. You understand? Like when you look at the Indian goddess Shiva, you understand, which is where the activity of smoking weed comes from, right? When you smoke weed, a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't get cancer from smoking weed." You a damn lie. You damn sure can get cancer from smoking weed. You understand? And smoking weed, it clouds your judgment. You understand? It makes you slow. It makes men feminine. You understand? It's a lot of sisters out there that smoke a whole lot of weed and they got a couple chin hairs. You understand? Because it boosts testosterone levels in women. You understand? And it decimates testosterone levels in men. You understand? It makes men more docile, more feminine, more feeble. You understand? More passive. You understand? These gods that these other nations have have taught us to serve. You understand? These guys destroy us. All right. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. You understand? Like the Lord is that serious, right? And I remember my mother had like more than 20 gods. What you mean by that, Matam Yah, about statues or something like that, or stuff that she worshiped? Let me know in the comments, Baruch Shah. Understand? But the Lord is that serious to where He's saying, look, if any of you and anybody that sojourns in your land allows your children to pass through the fire of Molech for somebody to murder their child in hopes of a better life, you're gonna be put to death for that. You understand? And the equivalent to that, the equivalent of that today is making your seed through the pass through the fire of Molech. The equivalent of that today is the abortion clinics. Because why do sisters go in there and go kill their babies, right? They go in the abortion clinic and literally murder their babies because they feel that this baby will stop them from having a better life. It's the same concept as back in ancient times. You understand? And then what happens to sisters in the long run? You understand? When if you have enough abortions, you're gonna end up with breast cancer when you get old or older. Because what the doctors don't tell you is a woman's body when she gets pregnant, her body understands that look, I need to nourish a child. So milk is formed in the breast, you understand? And then when the sister has an abortion, her body still goes through the stages of preparing itself to nurture a child. So when that child is never produced and they never get to nurture that child and the body never gets to nurture that child, what happens to the breast milk is it gets hard in the breast, and this is where breast cancer comes from because lumps form in the sister's breast from not being able to actually allow that milk that they produce to basically serve its purpose in nourishing the child. You understand? And that's another part of being put to death by the Lord because of letting your child pass through the fire. You understand? Salakia. Verse 3. And I will set my face against that man and will cut him off from among his people, because he have given of his seed unto Molech to defile my sanctuary and to profane my holy name. You understand? It's evil and blasphemous for you to kill a child. You understand? Let alone your own child. You understand? In hopes for a better goddamn life, right? Salakia. Verse 5. Salaki, verse 4. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man when he giveth of his seed unto Molech and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man and against his family and will cut him off, and all that go a whoring after him to commit whoredom with Molech from among their people. You understand? The Lord said, look, if you even condone in somebody murdering a child, you understand, in hopes for a better life, or worshiping that guy Molech, you understand? If you even condone in that, you don't even have to be the person that do it yourself. But if you condone in it and you turn a blind eye to somebody that does that, then the Lord gonna deal with you. He gonna cut you off from among your own people. Understand? I'm gonna read that again. Slakia. And all that go a whoring after him to commit whoredom with Molech from among their people. Understand? The Lord likens following another God, uh the children of Israel committing whoredom or committing adultery, understand, with another nation or another God, because the Lord looks at the children of Israel as a whole as he's in a marriage with them. He like we in a spiritual bond with the Lord. Understand? So when the Lord say you go a whoring after another God, meaning you stepped out on your marriage with the Lord and went to go play a harlot, you understand, or evil, nasty, disgusting person with the God of another nation, you understand? And what is the Lord going to do? He's going to divorce you, you understand? And he's done it so many times to the children of Israel. But Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh shot at the Lord's greatest asset is his mercy, you understand? And he showed mercy unto the children of Israel that kept his commandments. This is why we not consumed. He showed mercy unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? By upholding his end of the bargain. And this is why the children of Israel are not destroyed as a whole. You understand? Salakia. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 12. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 12. Then beware, lest thou forget the law, which Salakia, then beware, lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee from out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. See, the Lord brought the children of Israel out of the house of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You understand? Beware, or you else you're gonna forget the Lord. You're gonna forget who put you in this position as the children of Israel, as the person, Salaki, as the people who were saved by the Most High God. You're gonna forget His law, statutes, and commandments, and worship other gods if you don't beware. You understand? If you don't hearken diligently unto this law, if you don't move cautiously, you understand? If you don't study, you understand? If you don't meditate on these scriptures day and night, you understand? You're gonna forget the Lord. Understand? Verse 13. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. You understand? We need to serve the Lord our God and serve him. You can't serve the God of smoking cigarettes. You can't serve the God of being a drug dealer. You can't serve the money that your oppressor's face is on. You understand? Like the scriptures say, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Why? Because you love and worship that money. You understand? And you will do anything for that money. Just the simple fact that you love money so much, there's nothing that you wouldn't do for money. So any type of sin or abomination on planet Earth, if you love money, that's where the start of evil comes from. You understand? Because you love money and you choose whatever the hell that you think you can be able to obtain a lot of money with. Man. And right, Matam, yeah, we committed the worst crimes against the Most High. You understand? But like I said, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, why for the Lord having mercy on the children of Israel and sending Christ, you understand, to die for the sins of the children of Israel, so we can have a way back to our God, so we can come back to serving our power. You understand? So we can get the hell out of this captivity, so we can get up out of this bondage, so we can get from up under the hands of the oppressor and the other nations that's pushing these other gods on us in our neighborhoods. You understand? Through the TV, through songs, you understand, through the propaganda that you see all over the planet Earth. All right. Verse 14, ye shall not go after other gods of the gods of the people which are round about you. Yeah, once again, we should not go after these other gods. You understand? The gods of the other people that's round about you. This is exactly what happened in the Garden of Eden, right? Eve didn't eat no damn apple off of a tree. That's a damn lie. The word apple was not even in Genesis. You understand? The Lord is giving metaphors on how Adam and Eve went to go be like the other nations and serve what they serve. You understand? So, Bob, Yahba Shem Shabbarakatah, the water for tapping in. I appreciate you. You understand? But yeah, that's what it meant in the Garden of Eden. You understand? For them to take of the fruit of the other trees. You understand? Right? These is family trees. These is other nations. You understand? And these other nations serve other gods. You understand? Verse 15. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you. Understand? And why is the Lord your God a jealous God? Because the Lord did so much for the children of Israel. Right? It's just like how can I put this? Like it's like your father doing so much for you. You understand? But then, allergy. Like your father, it's like your father giving you the world, him giving you everything that you've ever dreamed of, everything you've ever wanted. You understand? And I'm gonna liken it to this: you a kid, your father tells you, "Look, you get straight A's, I'm gonna get you the new PS5 or the new Xbox." You understand? You uphold your end to the bargain, and the Lord and your father, uh, uh, he delivers on his promise, right? But the next semester you go back to school, now you got D's and F's and C's. What is he gonna do? He's gonna take that game system away from you. He gonna take whatever the hell you work so hard for. He gonna take it from you. You understand? And then on top of that, after he takes it from you, right? He gonna look at you in what's the word I'm looking for? He gonna look at you with disappointment. Understand? Like, damn, son, like I thought we had an agreement. You understand? But you didn't renege on your agreement, so I'm gonna go in and take this privilege from you. Understand? And now you don't get nothing, right? Now, if all of that happens, right, and you you choose to you know keep going on with your mischievous ways as being a kid and not doing what you're supposed to do in school and looking at your father like, well, I don't give a damn about that anyway. You understand? Your father is going to be highly upset with that because he spent this money or spent this time on something that he promised to give you, and he had to take it away from you because you didn't uphold your end of the bargain. But now you don't give a damn, and you went and veered off and did whatever the hell you wanted to. You understand? That's gonna make your father very angry. Understand? And that's gonna make your father chastise you. That's exactly the same thing that the Lord has done to the children of Israel. You understand? He gave us something so precious. You understand? As far as us being a holy nation unto Him, He gave us something so beautiful in Him, uh, uh, saving us out of the hard bondage that we served in Egypt. Right now, it's like this: the Lord took away everything that He told us He was going to give us, or everything that we had, because we went and did the complete opposite of what He did. I mean, what He told us to do. Understand? And the fact that the Lord was able to save us out of hard bondage, to get us out of a detrimental state of being, and we don't want to serve Him or have appreciative qualities towards the Lord by obeying Him, then the Lord gets mad. You understand? And on top of that, what else do? We reverence other gods, gods that are no gods, gods that did nothing for the children of Israel to get us out of bondage. You understand? And we look at those as a savior or peace of mind, or this is what's going to get me out of this condition that I'm in. And the Lord sitting back looking like, nigga, I didn't save y'all. Like it was me. The audacity of you or reference some false god or somebody that you or something that you think that is God, when I'm the one that actually served you. You understand? And had a covenant with you, get you out of hell. Now you choose to go serve this other God. Okay, I got something for you. You don't want to give me my credit for getting you up out of bondage, for getting you away from another nation that had their feet on your neck, that made y'all serve slavery from sun up to sundown, a nation that you watched live deliciously off the backs of what your people did for that nation, and they didn't give you a crumb. They didn't give you a piece of their kingdom. Understand? They didn't give you a 0.5% of the money that they made off you. And these are the people that you choose to serve their gods and reference the rest of these other nations and how they live life contrary to what I told y'all to do. Okay, I got something for y'all. And that's how the Lord thinks. That's what it means to be a jealous God. You understand? The Lord is very jealous. You know why? Because He wants His credit for what He did to the children of Israel. You understand? He deserves the credit that's due to Him, for Him saving us out of bondage, for Him getting heathens out of a land. You understand that He had built up and paved the way for us to live in perfect harmony amongst each other. Understand? And we spit on the Lord's grave. I mean, Salaki, not the Lord's grave. We spit in the Lord's face. You understand? Every time we choose to go serve another God or do something contrary to the rules that's in His law. You understand, Salakia? Verse 15. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. You understand? And that's what's going to happen. The Lord going to be very mad and very angry with the children of Israel as soon as we start reverencing gods that did not get us out of hell. All right? Salakia. Deuteronomy 8 and 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, and it is, Salakia, as it is this day. And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish. As the nations which the Lord destroyeth before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye would not be obedient unto the voice of the Lord your God. You understand? Salakia is, I don't know if you're trying to ask a question about them, y'all. But if you got one, put it in the chat. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God. You understand? We should reference our God. You understand? For it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth. It's the Lord that gives us power to build up our nation and be a wealthy people. You understand? To not be a goddamn slave, to not be up under another nation and have to fend for ourselves in an empire where another nation don't give a damn about us, where a nation rules over us with an iron fist. You understand? That is the power of the Lord that got us up out of bondage, that got us up out of slavery, that got us able to obtain some type of wealth and some substance in a land of our own, right? Salakia. That he may establish his covenant, which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. You understand? That he may establish his covenant. Because what was the covenant that he gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? He gave the covenant to Abraham that we was going to be the rulers over planet Earth, that we was going to live deliciously. You understand? That we was going to be a nation of kings and priests. You understand? He didn't promise Abraham that we was going to be slaves. He didn't promise Abraham that we was going to be servants to another nation who don't give a damn about the welfare of our men, women, and children. You understand? That's not what the Lord promised. The Lord promised us all the good things of life. There's no gray area with God. It's either sink or swim. It's you do what I say and you get the best on earth. You understand? If you look at the blessing that the Lord gave Jacob, he said, man, look, you're gonna get the fatness of the earth. You understand? You're gonna be in power, you're gonna be in rulership forever. You understand? Now, of course, that's going to happen when Christ comes back and basically decimates all the enemies that don't want Christ to reign over him. You understand? But in these times, our fathers, which is us, you understand, because reincarnation is real. Our fathers, we went against the Lord. You understand? We served other gods. We served Molech. You understand? We served Baal. We served all the rest of these goddamn guys. And this is why we went into slavery. This is why we in the projects. This is why we a nation that's robbed and spoiled. You understand? Because we chose to serve these other gods. All right. Verse 19. And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish. And we've been perishing worshiping these other gods. You understand? You got brothers that's in the neighborhood selling a whole lot of drugs, worshiping the God of money. You understand? And what happened? Right, so damn right, Caesar Borgia too. You understand? That so-called Caucasian Jesus. You understand? You got mothers and aunties and grandmothers that's in churches right now. Not my Jesus. Meanwhile, they dying from heart disease and diabetes because they eat all of these goddamn abominations because white Jesus says, come as you are. Excuse me. Edomite Jesus or Caucasian Jesus said, come as you are. I love everybody. Nations should join hand in hand. No, that's not the God of the Bible. You understand? You got brothers that serve these other guys that be drug dealers and die at 21 years old. You understand? die at 15 years old because he a gang member and he worships money. You understand? The Christian pastor, what was his name? Eddie Long. You understand? Serving all of them goddamn false gods. This man and contracted AIDS. You understand? I believe I'm pretty sure Eddie Long died of AIDS. You understand? All that came from worshiping other gods. You understand? Worshiping your goddamn slave master who allows you to be a disgusting human being and do whatever the hell you want instead of serving Yahweh that has rules. You understand that has laws against abominations. You understand? Eating abominations, doing abominable things. You understand? Celebrating abominable holidays. You understand? That's why we perish. Verse 20, as the nations which the Lord destroyed before your face. And we perishing as the nations, you understand, that the Lord has destroyed from before our face. Because we went to war with a lot of these nations that you see today. A lot of these Africans, a lot of these Caucasians, you understand? We went to war with them. And being that the Lord was on our side, he destroyed these nations. Like the scriptures say, the Lord kills and makes alive. You understand? The Lord is the reason why we was winning these battles. You understand? Because we served the Lord, and the Lord upholded his end upholded his end of the covenant. You understand? Or his end of the bargain to be a protector of the children of Israel. You understand? To fight all of our battles, to stand. You understand? Down with us while we go to battle with these damn enemies. And when they perished, you understand? That was because the Lord was with the children of Israel because we served him. You understand? But as soon as we stopped serving him, then the Lord started killing us, just how he was killing the rest of these other nations. All right. Salakia. So shall ye perish, because ye would not be obedient unto the voice of the Lord your God. You understand? Like the scriptures say, for the wages of sin is death. You understand? It's a sin to serve other gods. I'm reading to you all over the Old Testament, you understand, in the law, right? Because transgression, Salakia, sin is the transgression of the law. So if you go against these laws in these Old Testaments, that means you are a sinner. You understand? And it is a sin to serve other gods except for the Most High, who created heaven and earth, the same God that got the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. You understand? And he has rules we have to live by. Deuteronomy 11 and 16. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 16. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. The Lord said, take heed to yourself, meaning watch yourself. Pay attention to what you got going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like examine yourself. Take heed is to hearken unto yourself, right? That your heart be not deceived, that your mind is not deceived, right? And turn ye, Salakia, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. You understand? Be mindful of what you're doing. You understand? Watch out for how you live in your life, because your mind will be deceived and you will start worshiping other gods. All right. Verse 17. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, unless ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. You understand? If we don't take heed to what we had, this is a reference talking about when we was going to come into the land of Israel to possess it as our homeland. Understand? If we start following after these other guys, then the Lord is going to cut us off. The Lord is going to not give us the things that we need to sustain ourselves. You understand? In these times, but back then we need water and stuff to grow crops. Now we don't need water and stuff to grow crops. Of course, most of us, we don't have farmland. Understand? We buy our groceries from the goddamn grocery store and get them from a heathen. You understand? But the Lord will cut off your heaven. You understand? The Lord will make it very hard for you in this empire where you're serving your goddamn enemies if you do not follow the Lord. You understand? He gonna make it to where your cousin is gonna get killed. Your son is gonna be murdered. You understand? Your grandma gonna die at 50 years old. All right. Salakia Adawan was King Solomon, the richest man at that time. Uh, this is before Solomon and Deuteronomy. I'm gonna get to Solomon in a second, Mazim, but in the time of Solomon, yeah, Solomon was the richest man of his time. Solomon was so goddamn rich. You had to come. Like if you wanted to sit down and have a conversation with Solomon, you know how Vlad TV or somebody might pay somebody for an interview today to talk about a whole lot of nonsense and BS. Solomon was so goddamn rich, powerful, and wise that you had to pay Solomon hundreds of pounds of gold just to sit down and have a conversation with him. That's how rich Solomon was. Those of our people who do form or terrorize by our oppressors. Yeah, kind Sawap, you understand? Big shout out to Commander General Yana, you understand, General Mahyman, that brought out how evil it is, you understand, on our brothers and sisters that's actually farmers, you understand, in this empire. I believe they said like when we got out of slavery, I believe General Muhammad said it was over 900,000 black farmers in this empire. You understand? Now in 2023, I believe he said it's only about 40 of them now. You understand? So we didn't lost literally over 800,000 farming jobs in this empire, right? And it's evil as hell. Salakia. Where was I? Verse 18. Therefore shall ye lay up these words in your heart and in your soul. You understand? These laws, statutes, and commandments, you should lay them up in your heart. You understand? Meaning in your mind and in your soul, with everything that you have, with everything that you do, you should lay like the law should be on your mind continually. Serve your God and not forsake him to serve another God. That should never cross your mind. You understand? If it does cross your mind, that's a goddamn demon, and you need to fight because life is about warfare. You understand? But we got to lay up these laws in our hearts. You understand? Which is your mind. You understand? Your soul is with your activities or your actions, right? And bind them for a sign upon your hand. You understand? And make sure what you do, anything that you do, which this is what you use. You understand? This is how you do something, usually with your hands. You understand? So like, I'm gonna read that again. And bind them for a sign upon your hands. You understand? Whatever you do, you reverence the Lord. Shalom, Yabashim, Al Shabarakatah, Shabal, sir, the water for tapping in. Appreciate you. You understand? That they may be as frontlets between your eyes. You understand? A frontlet between your eyes is basically something that just hangs in front of your face. Make sure that you always have the law on your mind. And them so-called I don't want to get struck, so I'm gonna just say the little hat people. You understand? What they do when you see a lot of them dressed in the I don't know what to call it, but you know they got them black hats on and the suits, and they got that little thing on their head that literally has a copy of the scriptures up in it. You understand? The reason why they put that on their forehead is because they don't understand the spirit of the law. Boss, sir. They don't understand the spirit of the law, and this is the Lord speaking in reference. You understand? So this is why they put a big ridiculous box on their head with a copy of the scriptures in there, because they don't understand that this Bible is written by black men. You understand? We talking about metaphors on top of metaphors on top of metaphors. Like black men, we speak in code, we speak in slang. And it's no different of the prophets of the days of old. They did the same exact thing. You understand? They spoke in slang, right? Salakia. We drop that. Go to verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a cursing. You understand? This book contains blessings and cursings. You understand? You seen them with the nest. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, you understand? These scriptures, right? This is being set before us as a blessing and a cursing, all right? A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. You understand? And we're gonna be blessed if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord our God gave to the children of Israel. That we're gonna be a blessing. You understand? Everything is gonna prosper in our hands. All right. Verse 28. And a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day to go after other gods which ye have not known. You understand? And that's how you're gonna be cursed, by serving other gods which you ain't never known. You understand? By serving that god of smoking weed, you gonna die of goddamn cancer or some type of disease that marijuana will bring you. You understand? Sleeping with heathens. You understand? You're gonna end up taking on their customs and being around they goddamn people. You understand? And eventually you might die from the abominations that they put in their bodies. You understand? From the pork, the shrimp, the crab, the lobster. You understand? Because all of those are sacrifices that the rest of these other nations had to their other gods. You understand? The Lord said we should not suffer a witch to live. You understand? Well, actually, a witch or a warlock is a goddamn drug dealer. You understand? And anybody indulging in any criminal activity that has anything to do with drugs, these drugs are the worship of other gods. You understand? Because a lot of these other nations, a lot of their spirituality comes from actually getting high. You understand? That's what it means to be a damn witch. You're just a drug addict and a drug dealer. You understand? And eventually, the Lord is going to destroy you for it. And you see it happen time and time again in the ghetto. You understand? Brothers and sisters overdose on whatever type of drugs. You got a lot of these young brothers that's having seizures from drinking all of this goddamn syrup. You understand? Which is an opioid. You understand? Like is self-explanatory. Like I said, it's no gray area with the Lord. You do right, you live. You do wrong, you die. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy 17. Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 17 and 2. If there be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or women that have wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God in transgressing his covenant, and have gone and served other gods and worshiped them, either the sun or moon or any of the host of heaven, which is not commanded, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquire diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth the man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die. The Lord is not playing like to I don't know. I think the term the Lord your God is a jealous God is an understatement. You understand? I don't think that does the Lord any justice. You understand? The Lord said, look, if you hear about somebody in your nation serving another God, right? And you hear about it and you hearken and you what he say? You inquire diligently about it. Like you asking so many goddamn like, brother, are you sure? Are you sure you seen that brother smoking weed? Are you sure you seen them put a goddamn Christmas tree in a house with ornaments, brother? Man, look, are you sure? And then you go find out that it's true. You got to bring these brothers and sisters that's worshiping these other guys, that's doing this wicked evilness. You understand? You got to bring them to the priest. You understand? The priests are going to pronounce judgment on them, and the congregation have to stone the stones that they die. Now, I don't like. Have you ever heard of execution by fire squad? Well, this is the original execution by fire squad, but way more excruciating and more painful because if you get execution by a firing squad, it's gonna be a whole lot of people with rifles shooting the hell out of you. You understand? Now, one of them shots can hit you in the head and kill you instantly, or Salaki, or unalive you instantly. I ain't gonna lie, I like that word, unalive. That's a nice one if you ask me, Salakia. But unalive you instantly, right? You might be able to escape a lot of the pain that comes from that type of execution, right? But imagine you imagine you got big strong priest, right? That's eating organic everything. It's organic air at this goddamn time. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is organic. These brothers are strong. You understand? They don't have generations of pesticides and different chemicals being put in their food. So these brothers are literally to their full potential, and they pronounce judgment on you to where these brothers have to throw rocks at you until you die. You know how painful that's gonna be? Understand? Do you know how excruciating that's gonna be for somebody to feel that? Yeah, so right, way more traumatic being stoned. Instead, like I said, they do that firing squad. You might get lucky and get hit in the forehead with the bullet, and you die instantly. But if you got a whole bunch of brothers just flinging rocks at you, you're gonna be getting hit in the eye, the nose, the chest, the stomach, the knees, the private areas. You understand? Until you die. You're not just gonna stone somebody. You're not finna just throw rocks at a person and they die with the salaki, or they're unalived in 5 minutes of you stoning them. No, this is gonna take some time. This is gonna take probably an hour. You understand, salaki? But this how serious the Lord was. He didn't say you have to unalive this person by decapitating, or something to the something to the effect of bringing a more slower, you understand, unaliving. No, the Lord wants you to feel this pain. You understand? The Lord wants to torment you. You understand? With being unalived by your sin. You understand? The Lord our God is a terrible power. Salakia. Understand? Deuteronomy 28, verse 14. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I commanded thee this day, to the right hand or to the left hand, to go after other gods to serve them. Man, look, I just read about 20 precepts that the Lord is reiterating over and over and over and over again, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, that we should not serve these other gods. It's all over the Old Testament. You understand? It's all over the law, right? Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You understand? Now, let me read just a few curses. I ain't going to read too many. Let's come down to verse 36. All right. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, into a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. You understand? The Lord said he's going to bring us to a nation, you understand, that us nor our fathers have not known, to serve that nation, and we going to serve other gods, even wood and stone. You understand? That's that cobblestone in Mecca. That's that wooden cross in the back of the goddamn pews at the Christian church. I mean, it's like at the Christian church. Excuse me, I said Christmas church. You understand? The Lord is going to make us serve those guys. You understand? These are guys that's not going to get us out of poverty. These are guys that's not going to deliver us from the evil of our enemies. You understand? The Lord is going to serve us on a silver platter to heathen nations so we could be their goddamn slaves again because we didn't want to obey our God. You understand? So like it, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even until the other. And we're going to be scattered amongst all of these nations. And who we going to be to all of these nations? We're going to be their servants. We're going to be their slaves. We're going to be at the bottom of the totem pole. You understand? We're going to be the people that's actually making a business thrive because we have to buy everything from them. You understand? We're going to be the people that send their goddamn kids through college. We're going to be the people, and we're going to be the reason why they got new, brand new foreign cars in their driveway because we the slaves of these other people. And this is a curse from going against our God and serving other gods. You understand? And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And when we get to that captivity amongst all the rest of these nations, we're going to serve other gods, wood and stone. Once again, you're going to serve that Christian cross. You're going to serve that cobblestone in Mecca. You understand? You know what them guys can't do for you? Them guys cannot free you out of captivity. Them guys cannot set you on high above all nations. Them guys can't do a goddamn thing for you. And these are going to be the guys that we serve because we chose to serve these guys. So the Lord going to serve us up to these guys. And these guys are going to do nothing for us. Go to 1 Kings, the 11th chapter. Let's talk about King Solomon and what Solomon did. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, woman of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. You understand? Now, Solomon began to deal with these heathen women, understand? And exactly what the Lord said would happen, happened to Solomon. Understand? His heart was turned from following the Lord, so he started following their gods. He started, I'm going to read on, Salakia. He had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. You understand? Yeah, damn right. So Solomon was in deep. Yes, there's Salakia. No, yeah, pun intended. He was in deep. Salakia. You understand? Right? Verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as with the heart of David his father. So Solomon dealing with these heathen women, when he got older, you understand, up in age, you understand, he started to worship their gods. He started partaking in some of their customs, doing some things that these heathens did. You understand? For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the god of the Zidonians. The Zidonians are Canaanites. All right, this is where you get the name Zidon from. You understand? The Zidonians. And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. These Ammonites, these so-called Japanese people. You understand? He had African women. He had Caucasian women. You understand? He had Asian women. You understand? Verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went not fully after the Lord as did his father. So look, so check this out, brother. Lord willing, you will. Lord willing, you will. Keep doing what you're doing, so I keep coming into these classes. You understand? But one thing I can tell you, brother, the scriptures say, he that has wives be as he that have no wives. You understand? As many wives as you obtain, so what? Because you will. You understand? You gonna get them. You understand? As many wives as you obtain, you never put them wives before this truth. You never put your children before this truth. You understand? You put God before everything. Yeah, but damn right, Solomon must have had a real busy schedule. Yeah, and then you got to think about it. So Solomon, of course, he had a busy schedule because Solomon studied. Solomon, like Solomon was the wisest king, of course, next to Yahushua Mashiach. You understand? But Solomon was a very wise king and the wisest king uh, 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 of his time. You understand? There was nobody wiser before him, and there was nobody wiser after him, save Christ, except for Christ. You understand? But yeah, of course, Solomon had a very busy schedule. Understand? And look, I believe Solomon didn't get too much sleep at all. But Lord willing, Sawab, you'll see it. You'll see it. You understand? And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went not fully after the Lord as David his father. Then Solomon did build an high place for Camash, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. Right, yeah. The time management, I guarantee you, it was impeccable. Of course, understand in the beginning, right? Because it said when he got older, he started worshiping after the other gods of these other nations. You understand? So what Solomon began to do is Solomon began to he began to build groves, you understand, and shrines for these other nations, you understand, for the wives of his other nations, because they swayed his heart away from him following the Lord. You understand? Verse 8. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods. And not only did he do this for the Ammonites, the Zidonians, the Moabites, he did it for every other woman that was of a different nation. Understand? He built a shrine or a grove to their God and allowed them to sacrifice ashes. I mean, Salakia, sacrifice incense unto these other gods, and he partook in it himself. You understand? He did it as well, right? Verse 9. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice. You understand? Solomon came, Salakia, the Lord came unto Solomon in a dream twice, and the Lord was very angry. You understand? He showed Solomon so much mercy. You understand? He showed Solomon so much love. He gave Solomon so many gifts in life, and Solomon still went to go serve these other gods, and the Lord was very angry. Right? Verse 10. And commanded him concerning this thing that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. You understand? And Solomon told of the Lord, man, don't go serve no other gods. I'm the man that you're supposed to be serving. I'm the one. You know what I'm saying? Solomon did the complete opposite. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes which I command thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from you, and I will give it to thy servant. You understand? And that's what happened. You understand? This is the prophecy of the northern and southern kingdom. You understand? Splitting or the nation of Israel becoming two kingdoms, right? And Solomon was the kingdom was stripped from him in this. The northern kingdom had 10 tribes. You understand? The southern kingdom consisted of Judah, Benjamin, and some of Levi. You understand? So the kingdom of Judah or Judea, it became most of the kingdom, understand, most of the kingdom of the nation of Israel, the northern kingdom, was ripped out of Solomon's hands because of the wicked act that he did by dealing with these heathens and worshiping their gods, right? And he said, and the Lord said he was going to give the kingdom to Solomon's servant. You understand? Meaning he was going to give the kingdom to brothers of different tribes, you understand, that served up under Solomon, right? Verse 12. Notwithstanding in the days I will not do it for Salaki. Notwithstanding in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Howbeit I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David, my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. So even the Lord still had mercy on him. He like, look, you did some evil, wicked stuff in your time, and I'm finna take this kingdom from you. But since I'm gonna have mercy on David, I ain't gonna let. I'm not gonna take it out of your hands. I'm gonna take it out of your son's hand because David was your father, and David was a righteous brother. You understand? Of course, David had his mishaps. You understand? As far as taking another brother's wife, and that's a different story. You understand? But the Lord had mercy on Solomon for David's sake, and he didn't take the kingdom out of his hands. You understand? And he had mercy on Jerusalem because the Lord chose for Jerusalem to be the place where the children of Israel worship and reference the Lord. You understand? But he took it out of Solomon's son's hand. You understand? This is when you get the story of Jeroboam and Rehoboam and how they went to war with each other. And it's like it. Let me go to Exodus chapter 32. This is when the children of Israel, you understand the story of the molten calf. And I'm gonna give you all a brief history on where that molten calf actually comes from. All right. The book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves to Aaron, like it together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that has brought that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we what not is become of him. So look, they like, look, check this out. Hey, look, Aaron, check this out. Man, make us a God that we can worship. You understand? Because this dude Moses that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we don't know what the hell happened to him. He been gone for a long time. Man, we need a God to serve. You understand? And the children of Israel, they forgetting one thing. Moses didn't bring them out of the land of Egypt. Yahweh did. You understand? The Lord, the Most High Power, the Most High God brought them out of Egypt. They look. Moses ain't around. This nigga done brought us up out of Egypt. They forgetting all of the signs and the wonders that the Lord showed them. You understand? To make them believers that He's actually the one that's going to save us, and the one that's actually going to be the power to make us prosper in the earth. You understand? But they attributed all of that to Moses, right? They like, look, we don't know where this nigga is. Make us another God, right? Verse 2. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the elders, Salaki, in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand and fashioned it with a graving tool after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be the gods of Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt, right? Yeah, right. So why we forget quick. That's why the scriptures say we got to meditate on these laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to meditate on these scriptures every day, or you will forget the law. It's just like for instance, I'm the head of the Lashawan Kodash department in the Northern California region. Right now, if I don't teach that Lashawan Kodash class, or if I don't study, you understand, as much as I'm supposed to, then I could forget it. Because I remember early on, as far as just dealing with the characters in the Hebrew alphabet, if you don't study these characters, you understand? If you don't study the names of certain things, you will forget, you will lose it. You understand? And it's the same thing with us serving our God or serving our power. You understand? If you go your whole life not looking at these scriptures, not reverencing the Lord, not actually sitting down and jumping into this book or coming into classes, if you do that for a long enough time, then eventually you're gonna forget exactly what the hell you're supposed to do according to this Bible. Understand? And of course, us not knowing the Lord our God that long in these times, we forgot the Lord that goddamn quick. You understand? Because here we are coming out of Egypt. You understand? Now Moses, he taking a long ass time up in this mountain, and we supposed to be waiting on Moses to tell us what our next move is. So these brothers, they like, well, man, look, we don't know where Moses said. Look, make us another god, not realizing that Moses didn't kill all of these goddamn Egyptian firstborn. Moses didn't turn their seas into bloody stinking water. You understand? Moses didn't. Moses is not the one that plagued them with frogs and locusts. You understand? Moses didn't do none of that. The Most High did that. You understand? So they asking for a god, and Aaron made them a molten calf. Now, this molten calf is the god of one of the gods that the Egyptians worshipped. You understand? The Egyptians worshipped a bull god. You understand, or a cow god. I forget the name of it, but it's a god of fertility, right? Damn, Salaki. I wish I would have wrote that name down. See, like I said, if you don't look into it too much, then you might forget it. You understand? I've taught a couple of classes on this god. You understand? But anyway, this molten calf or this cow god, this is the god that the Egyptians worshipped. You understand? So what Aaron was doing was he was trying to appease and pacify the children of Israel with giving them the God that they was used to serving and worshiping back in ancient Egypt. You understand? This is why this not Molech. So Molech is the god of the Canaanites. Matter of fact, hold on. I think you're right. So but it's another name that the Egyptians called it. I believe that this is the same God. You're right. So Molech is the same God. You understand? Yeah, Molech was a big a bull god or a big cow god. You understand? But damn, is it? So like I'm gonna have to look it up, but I think you're correct. So I think you're correct. I think that I think the owl. I think Molech was a big cow god, if I'm not mistaken. But you might be correct on that, Sawab. But it had another name for it when it was in Egypt. Remember, Molech is the god of the Ammonites. You understand? But I believe it's the same concept and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, this was a bull god. I think you're right. So I definitely think you're correct. But it was another name for the Egyptian god. I can't think of it right now. Right? And this was a god that they served in Egypt. So, of course, Aaron, understanding where they just came from, understanding the mind frame of the Israelites, right? Because our mind frame was this nigga Moses then brought us out here in a goddamn wilderness to die. You understand? Like man, I wish we could sit back in Egypt by the flesh pots. You understand? Or man, I miss this garlic and all them onions that we was able to eat in Egypt because we were suffering in the wilderness eating unleavened bread and just quails all the damn time. But back in Egypt, you understand, you can get some set. I don't know. You probably got to look. I don't know if you could. You probably got to look it up a little bit more. You might be right. I just can't remember the name of it. You understand? But nonetheless, the reason why this molten calf was constructed for the children of Israel to worship as a god, because this is the God that they worshiped back in ancient Egypt. You understand? And Aaron understood the mind frame of the children of Israel at this time. This is nothing but us missing our slave master. This is nothing but us missing being back in ancient Egypt where everything was safe for us, and we could rely on our slave master to feed us food. You understand? But Salakia. And they said, "These be the gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt." You understand? So we didn't gave our goddamn allegiance, and we gave the our love back to Egypt once again, back to serving a goddamn God and say, "Oh, this the God that brought us up out of the land of Egypt." And that same goddamn cow God that we was praising in Egypt, he's the one that brought us up out of Egypt. You understand? Verse 5. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it and made proclamation and said, "Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord." You understand? So look, Aaron, he made an altar for this damn cow God. You understand? And said, "Look, tomorrow, that's when we gonna celebrate our Passover, or this is gonna be the feast unto the Lord." You understand? For this goddamn cow guy right here, this golden guy that I just made out of all of the goddamn earrings and gold that y'all gave me. This is the God that saved you out of Egypt, and now we gonna make a feast day to him tomorrow. Okay? Verse 6. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up and play. You understand? So now we had a big party for this goddamn golden cow god. You understand? We didn't offer sacrifice to this god. We didn't sat down, ate. You understand? Drank. You understand? Had fun, party. You understand? That's what it means to play. We had fun, party. You understand? We didn't have a celebration for this goddamn cow god. This is the God that brought us up out of Egypt. Hallelujah. You understand? Salaki, right? Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Go get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves." So the Lord, like, look, hey Moses, bro, get up out this cave, bro, and go see what's going on with them. They corrupted themselves. Go see what the hell they doing, right? They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and worshipped it and sacrificed unto it and said, "These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt." And Yahweh said unto Moses, "I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people." Lord, like, man, these niggas is hard-headed. Like, man, look, I done had you tell these people over and over and over and over and over again not to make a graven image and worship this goddamn God, and they chose to do it anyway. These niggas is hard-headed, right? Verse 10. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. So the Lord like, look, bro, I'm about to kill these niggas. I don't want to hear your prayers. Leave me the hell alone. I don't want to hear you making supplication for these goddamn wicked bastards. You understand? I'm about to kill these niggas. Slacky, I'm through. I'm gonna make some Mosesites. Hey, I'm done with these Negroes, right? Verse 11. And Moses besought the Lord his God and said, "Yahweh, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahweh repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. You understand? Look, this nigga Moses was seasoned. He said, look, Lord, Salakia, like, if you kill them, all these goddamn Egyptians that you allowed us to escape for, they gonna be like, yeah, I knew they God wasn't with them. I knew they God didn't love them. He only brought them out of Egypt so he can kill all them niggas. You know what I'm saying? He said, look, remember your covenant that you made with Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. You understand? That you was gonna make they seed of the sand, Salakia. What he say? Salakia. I have spoken, Slakia. I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. He like, man, look, remember your covenant that you made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? You promised them that you was gonna make their seed out of the like the stars of heaven, and you promised them that you was gonna give this land unto them. Man, please, Lord, don't destroy these people and just go ahead and keep your end of the bargain. And then the Lord changed his mind because because Moses pleaded with the Lord and begged the Lord to not destroy the children of Israel. Right? Get Amos 3 and 2. It's the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity. The Lord our God, the Lord thy God, the Lord, I am your God and none else. This is all over the Bible, all over the New Testament, all over the Old Testament. You understand? The Lord said he's going to punish us for all of our iniquities that we have done because we the only family that he's known. You understand? So the Lord should be the only God that we understand. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead in the class. Y'all by Shemiah Shah Rock a thumb to the brothers. Y'all Shamar a thumb by Shemiah Shah to the sisters. Never drop your sword. You understand? Sisters, brothers, you understand? Understand that the Lord your God is a jealous power. He is the only one that can bring you out of slavery. He is the only one that can bring you out of bondage. He's the only one that showed mercy on you the whole time. Smoking weed is not going to get you out of slavery. It's not going to get you out of bondage. You understand? Worshiping a Caucasian Jesus has done nothing for you. Understand? Celebrating Christmas, Valentine's Day, that ain't did nothing to oppress you even more. Man, serve your God and get away from the rest of these other gods. Shalom, Israel. The water so wide, I appreciate you.